Alright, audio check. Might have a little reverb in the background as I get that set up and verified. Alright, audio check. Might have a little reverb in the background as I get that set up. Alright, episode 12. Yakuza Like a Dragon for the Game Pass Library series. This game has taken me a little over 20 hours to get into a point that I am ready to talk about it, and I have many hours left to play. But I wanted to unlock at least a full roster of characters and a full selection, not an entirety of, but a good selection of things to do in the game, because there is a lot to do in Yakuza Like a Dragon. So how these game series work is I'll play it for a minimum of an hour, but this one has obviously taken a little bit more. As you can see up here, 20 hours, 52 minutes, 1 second into Yakuza Like a Dragon. I'm at level 17 and I've moved on to a different city. So this is going to have some spoilers in it, so if it's not something that you want to have spoiled to you, I'll try to do a little bit of the story, but not too much of it, so that you have the opportunity, because there is a lot to do and a lot to look at, and I'll try to cover as much as I can. So here we go. I know that this game has a lot of loading screens, so it works really well on the Xbox Series X, and I'm sure the PlayStation 5, the next-gen consoles. But if you have a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, or an Xbox One, or maybe an Xbox Series S, maybe your load times will be more substantial or longer. So, I am in a city called Yokohama. Anyone who's familiar with the series of Yakuza, you know that the area that you normally go to has been sort of carried from series, the numbered series to numbered series. But the area I'm in right now is Yokohama. There are some landmarks that you'll be fairly familiar with, so I guess you could call this a nice tour of the city, if you so choose to. The original game of Yakuza was in an area about this size right here. But you can see the expansion, this isn't an added expansion, but you can see how large the city is. Plenty of things to do. Night City, eat your heart out. There are so many activities and so many things to do in Yokohama that you should never really have any downtime. If you find any portion of the game monotonous, there's something else that you can push over to have a lot of fun. So anywhere you see this game controller here, is pretty much a mini game that you can do. There's a cabaret, there's karaoke, there's a can quest, which is you picking up cans. There's Sega arcades all over the place. You can play Virtua Fighter 2, I think even Virtua Fighter 4. You can play Outrun. You can play Shogi. There's a place where you can play right here, Mahjong. And this Mahjong location here is a little bit cheaper than a Mahjong up in, it's a little more ritzy. I think it might be this one. There's even a vocational school that you can go and actually take written tests to increase your overall stats. There is another, this Vista Mahjong is a very expensive. The buy-in is 1 million yen, but the payout is around 5 million yen. Again, a lot of things to get into. As you may or may not know, on my other series streams, I do take a lot of notes as I'm streaming. So some of the things that I found as I play are parts of my notes, and I'll try to get through some of those. But this is a game that's developed, it's published by Sega. The Ryuga Gotoku Studio is the developer. And it is like, it's a role-playing game, so if you enjoy stories and it's the 8th game in like the main release of the Yakuza series. So if you want to start from the very beginning, you can start at Yakuza 0. But let's push on to one of our missions, and then we'll go do some mini games and kind of show you that. I'm right about here, and we're going to go down here to one of the story missions. But the game does a very good job. You can see down here in the bottom right corner, I've got characters that I've picked up through the story. And the story is long. One thing that you want to make sure that you do when you're getting into Yakuza, I'm just going to jaywalk here, is you grind in between some of the stories. Otherwise, you're going to have a longer grind at the end of the game, and you're going to have a large gap in between story segments. So I highly recommend, to avoid a late game grind for like an hour or so in between story segments or chapters, and it'll make it feel a little less monotonous if you try to do all the story at once. Let's go into some combat and I'll kind of show you that. These gang members and these thugs and these threatening men are all over the place. It is a turn-based game, so as you come across enemies, whether or not they be enemies of opportunity, like you're walking around in the city, or if you're actually fighting against enemies in the, I guess you call it a dungeon, or you're fighting bosses. I'm going to shut up and do a fight, so let's get into it. So skills are primarily what characters use with their magic points. You have attack, you have recovery, and support. You can add down here to the bottom left, you see the D-pad, the up, down, left, right. You can do fast paths and add those to like quick commands. You press up. For me, I've got selected an ability that will essentially do a nice area of effect attack, which I really love those things. Alright, so bottom right, again, I've got 4 characters, and top is the health, bottom is the magic points. You can go around the entire city, and I just got done with the battle, and resources and consumables are very important. You're probably going to find these kiosks very near to where you are, and just like Japan, there are these kiosks and convenience browns for change. There are kiosks all over the place, so use them well. And there are plenty of enemies. As you get a larger roster of enemies, or sorry, a larger roster of friendly, you can actually do some really cool combinations with that number of characters. So let's go back and look at items. So if you need to heal, you have recovery items, status items, battle items, and you can add that to yourself or add it to your friendly team members. Again, these are all things that you can buy from convenience stores, which are littered throughout the city, or at those small little convenience stands, or the vending machines that I was at before. So we will. You can also guard by just holding B and take less damage. And also, any attack that's coming from an enemy, you can actively defend against by hitting the B button or the guard button at the right time, almost like a quick time event. So let's actually like this guy's pigeon raid.
Watch this.
Alright, so for him, this is your main character right here, Kaguda, and to go into his skills, he has a tag team Essence of Mayhem. I need 30 magic points in order to get that, so I'm going to need to take a, let's go to, at 100 there. And in order to use this, just so I can show it to you guys, I'm going to have everybody else just guard. So he's going to attack, and if I hit it at the right time, just like he did, I get a perfect guard. I'm going to let her guard, Pin guard. All right, so back to our main character. You can also see in the top left, I can hold the left button and I can evade, but you can only evade the entire battle if you do it with the main character. So that's Kasugasan. Let's do the team. Now, if you only have one character at the very beginning of the game, it'll just be him sort of doing an attack. If you have two, it'll be two, but I have four, so you get them all doing sort of one of their special abilities. Very flashy, again, all turn-based, and I do enjoy the overall combat. I mean, it's an above-average attempt at changing up the style of Yakuza's battle system. The previous games were more real-time, and you move your character around, and almost like a beat-em-up, Streets of Rage style of combat. But I love the way the music also kind of keeps you into the action as well. So it does have some real-time elements though, because you can still defend while enemies are attacking you. So it's not necessarily like Final Fantasy, but it's but again, it is turn-based, so enemies generally will not attack you until it is their turn, and sometimes it can be their turn first. So again, we have the overall cash that we get in yen, so that's about $2. 200 yen is about $2. Experience added to the level 17 you see right now. You can see that bar starting to grow. Job experience. Each character has a job down there at the bottom. We'll kind of go over those later. And then those ranks. The bond experience is the little heart to the other three characters. So again, Kasugasan is at the very far left, and then the other three characters that you meet throughout the game, they have little bonding hearts there. And as you gain bonding points, you can increase the bond level and relationship with those characters. And again, you do add some items that you collect, and those are all sort of randomly generated.
So itchy.
All right, so let's go into sort of the start menu here, and I'll show you a couple of other things. Again, most of the stuff about from party to smartphone, part-time hero, dragon cart, you can see management is still unlocked. A lot of these things are grayed out, like management, until you unlock them through the story or you find them in the city. And that's another thing I recommend, is when you're getting started in this game, a couple of things to consider, and I've mentioned one of them, is just kind of enjoy the story, grind in between levels, use relationships, play mini games in between story sections, so the grinding required at the end of the game isn't so long. Like, really explore the city. And I'm going to go back over here as I'm explaining this. You can see these little, it's almost like a fog of war. You can see a small section of it here. You can see a small section here. You can see a larger section here, because there's some gang members preventing me from getting into this area. And again, this city is primarily, most of it is all open to you, so you can go explore around at your leisure and remove the fog of war. But again, all these icons up here that you see will not be seen until the fog of war is cleared. So if you're wanting to see what else is out there, I highly recommend kind of moving about the city and finding some of these areas so you know what you have available to you. So again, explore the city. You can engage in combat, spread it out. Just don't do all of one thing at once, because you'll feel the grind being heavier at the end, like I said. So back to the start menu. Tasks are just what you're trying to do, your immediate missions that you have to do. Sub-stories, there's 52 sub-stories, and these are just kind of side missions, and some of these stories are as good, if not sometimes better, than main story segments. No, you know, there's a whole overarching main story, but then you got these smaller side stories that you can go check out, which I think is really, really good. This is something that Yakuza games are known for, and Yakuza games are known for the game and the developers having fun with the material. It's very kind of goofy. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it also asks the players to come along in that journey. The side games, the sub-stories, the little nuances that this game has in it are what make Yakuza games great. So, and you have a ton of Yakuza games out there that you can pick up, and some of them are discounted price or on sale. So when you see Yakuza games go on sale, highly recommend you picking up the series. You will not be disappointed. If you like story games and if you like games that have mini games and a lot of things to do, to just kind of live in that world, Yakuza games are for you. So those were tasks. Skills, you can see how I've added down to the bottom left shortcuts that you can come over here. You can select from the entire list of attack, recovery, and support, and decide if you want to add it to the up, down, left, or right D-pad, so that you can quickly select those versus always going into the menu, which you saw in the previous combat. Each one has different abilities. They will gain more as they level up, and you can see specific job types over at the top, the far right, the active party. I'm not 100% on each one of the job icons that are there, but there's something there that you could probably uncover on your own. So I apologize, I can't talk too strongly to the jobs, but they're fairly similar in some of their things, but I'm going to have to skip over that one, let you discover that one on your own. The items that you collect throughout the entire game, plenty of stuff here for you guys to go out and shop. You can actually go into stores, you can go into restaurants, you can sit down and eat with your team, you know, buying one meal that will replenish health and I guess I'll call them magic points as you sit down and consume those. But you can also just pick things up and carry them with you into battles. There are specific things that you can pick up that you need to take to other people. So there are some fetch quests, but they're usually grounded in story. And it's not just, can you go get this and bring it back to me, thanks. The stories are fairly well drawn out. You can collect gear throughout your combat with enemies, picking them up from loot cases that are littered throughout the city. There's safes, silvers, and gold that I've seen that you'll have to find keys for, but you only have to find one key. It's not like you're having to find a ton of keys all over the city. And you can unlock. And I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls recently, and I kind of feel like this is just one of those things where you're grinding and you find that excellent piece of gear that you can add to your characters. And again, each one of the characters can be given gear pieces. You can see here how I could give her a helmet. And again, these are just things that are worn underneath, but not on the top. So there are costumes and outfits that you can buy for the characters, but these particular items that you're adding is just something that's sort of behind the scenes, which is a little unfortunate in some ways, but it doesn't have the issue of, I guess you could say, the cyberpunk issue to where you have a really bad outfit with really good stats, but you're still looking at a really bad outfit. Sometimes, not all the times. I didn't necessarily want to go there, but it's the easiest way I can describe that. So I'm going to add, you can see who's currently wearing what in your inventory. I'll just give her that white helmet there. Let's see, I'll give her that work clothes. Again, this is not cosmetic stuff adding, it's just adding some points to your defense, magic, agility. You can see there in the center panel. Accessories, we will give her simple earrings. That makes sense. And I guess she's going to be doing some guarding. I think the flame amulet is perfect for her. Optimal gear at the top left, the top right of the far left panel. I can just hit that button and it'll change things for her. I can go to each character and do that. So far I'm not doing too bad. Let's give toy bracelet to him, because I guess you don't necessarily want to have anything that's empty, because you can see it's adding defense to the character. Let's see, do I have any more? No, they're all filled out. Okay, so that's gear. Again, the stuff that you can collect. You can also craft, which hopefully that's something that I can get to showing you guys. So stats for each character. Much more for Kasuga. I think I've been saying Kaguda, but it's Kasuga. You can see his stats, and he has specific personality traits, whether or not it's for passion, confidence, charisma, kindness, intellect, style, things that you do throughout the game that increase those stats and kind of give you more of a grasp on the character. That's that role-playing part that Yakuza is known for. And again, if you're leveled up in specific areas, you can see how it gives you a subtitle. So level 2 intellect in the bottom left, it's at level 2, so I'm a knucklehead. Charisma, tactless, confidence, foolhardy. But as I level those up and I get a new descriptor or a subtitle there, that will actually unlock or allow me to do things with NPCs throughout the world, or have relationships, or continue a conversation with somebody. Some conversations won't even start unless your style is good enough or your passion is good enough. But if you invest in them, you can actually kind of increase those things. So the bond gauge, you can see here I'm at level 1 with Nanba. You unlock those by going to the survive bar, which we'll jump into that. And again, that's kind of similar for all those characters. Jobs. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick look at this to see exactly what type of job. All right, so freelancer, I'm trying to memorize all these. I don't have them all memorized, but freelancer, hero, those will be the icons. So if it's a fist, it's freelancer. If it's a sword on a shield, it's a homeless guy is that guy. What's this one? Detective with the handcuffs, and a barmaid for the cocktail icon. And again, these are all sort of very connected to these characters as you meet them as well. All right, so smartphone, you can read different types of tips. You can look at photos that you've taken. You can look at all the Sujidex. Sujidex is sort of like a Pokédex, or gotta catch them all, kind of a Pokemon kind of flair. And again, these are all the enemies that you fight. What I do like about this is it is kind of like a bestiary. So if you want to know how a character attacks and what that animation looks like when they attack, this will help you with some of your timing. And different types of weapons that you can craft, armor that you can craft, and weapons that you can strengthen. All right, pound mates. Again, there's so much stuff in here. I know I'm going through it relatively quickly. I'm just showing you there's a ton of stuff here. Pound mates is somebody that you can call, and they'll help you in battle. They do have a cost the second time you use them. Usually the first time you call them, it's free for the first time, but then it's a cost later on. But again, it's almost like a summoning of, I don't know, say Ifrit in Final Fantasy. You're calling in for them to help you. You can call a taxi to your location and where you want to go. And then there's DLC, and then the store, which of those are actual stores that you can go to and purchase items. Ooh, there's a lot, right? Part-time hero is just a little side quest that you can go out there and help NPCs throughout the city. There's some rescues where you're battling. There's challenges. There's support, things that you might need to bring them, food delivery, all sorts of stuff. So there's even this. Like there's so much to do outside of the standard things that you would get in some games. Dragon Kart. There's a there's a race car, go-kart style race throughout cities, city streets, different cups that you can partake in, which help you battle again. Again, it's essentially just Mario Kart. This is like a dragon, so instead of like Mario Brothers, Mario Kart, Dragon Kart, you get the idea. You collect items out on the road, which you can use against opponents and attack them and all that other kind of jazz. It's real good. Management I haven't gotten into. I haven't unlocked that yet, but that's something that you can use to jump into a side kind of job and invest in a company and I don't know, just pretty much get sort of a business off the ground and make it better. Whew. Okay, so let's keep moving towards some of the story, and hopefully we can show you some story. So there are some spoilers coming up, so if you don't want to have this spoiled for you, turn away now. But I guess you are here, hopefully you're just kind of getting a feel for what the game has to offer. While I'm coming up here, we'll stop over here by one of these vending machines, and you can kind of see what it is that you can buy here. You can see at the, usually though, it'll tell me what it is that it'll give me when I purchase it. Curious why it doesn't show me. Let's just buy one. Yeah, I'm curious why it doesn't tell me if I've got MP or HP. Boost evasion. Oh, okay, boost defense. Okay, so none of these actually give me any... Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, so this one boosts evasion, this one boosts defense, and this one gives you more experience points from battle. Oh, okay. Okay, so some things give you more than just MP and HP. Excellent. So not every vending machine is the same, which in other games, a very highly proliferated game, everywhere that you go, you can pretty much buy the exact same thing. Alright, so there are some instances in the game to where it's a one word or one grunt kind of sound that the characters will give you, but there are a lot of voice-over acting as well. It's not just typed words that you have to read. Apparently the shipments are from China are picking up and they need more dock workers to unload them. So there is a story arc in the game, as there are in a lot of the Yakuza games, to where the character's going to hit rock bottom. There was a point where the main character was homeless and had to come here to get jobs, and I constantly come back here and get new jobs, or this character, Kanbei, will gain me access to an area that will allow me to, you know, be a worker there so I can get the inside scoop and learn something about that area to progress the story. Ooh, there's just so much in Yakuza. I feel like I'm rushing through it, but I hope you're getting sort of a feel for some of the things that are available. It's all first-class stuff. Every Chinese restaurant in Japan is trying to buy from them because they sell them well below market prices. We've heard the same. You'd think they'd be selling in large quantities for small profits, which would mean they might even lose money sometimes, yet they seem to be expanding quickly. What do the rumors have to say about that? The most common one is that it's some kind of fraud. Maybe the ingredients aren't first class after all, but then they change the labels to make them look higher grade. Otherwise, there'd be no explanation for how they could be profitable. I know it's just rumors, but are you sure you want to work at a place like that? Hell yeah, Kanbei-san! That's actually just the info we were looking for. Huh? We're going to get jobs at this trading company and find evidence that they're frauds. So this is another undercover investigation, Don't you think it's pretty risky? We know it is, but if we get cold, hard proof, Mabuchi will have no choice but to meet with us. Mabuchi? The owner of the Yokohama Trading Company. I see. So your goal here is just to meet him. That only makes me worry more. Do you know Mabuchi Kanabe-san? Kanbei. You stay here long enough, you eventually learn the name of a crime lord or two. But I imagine you knew that. I imagine you know that. So does that have something to do with Nonomiya-san? Nonomiya? I won't say too much, but I will say I feel like an employee of Otahime Land. And Nonomiya-san treated us well. I see. I can understand that. Please be careful. Not even the police can get close to Mabuchi and his gang of ruffians. One wrong move, and your life may be in danger. It's okay. Survival is our first priority on the job. So, do you think we can get those jobs? You're not exactly the type of You're not exactly the type to change his mind once you make it up, are you? We'll be fine. We've got another new ally after all. So the young lady is with you. Pleasure. Your party is getting pretty unique. In that case, let me get in touch with the client. It'll take me a few minutes. But while you're looking, why not do some contract work?
So,
What do you mean? Well, with Otahime land out of commission, you're back to being unemployed, right? And you only want this warehouse gig to get info. You're playing the long game, but you still need to have income. Ooh, maybe this is where I'll get the management job. True, there's been so much going down. I forget, we're basically broke again. Well now, that you have some experience under your belts, I should be able to find you some work. Why don't you speak with Ririka over there about it? She takes a while to warm up to people, but her work is impeccable. I'll talk to her then. Thanks. Now see how quick that loading screen is? You may not always have that quick of a loading screen throughout your experience with maybe the previous generation consoles. System tips. Work, work, work. You will be able to assign jobs to Kasuga and his party members at Hello Work. There are special attacks and skills unique to each job, so choose the jobs best suited to the situation at hand. Training in various jobs will improve Kasuga and his party members' overall status and abilities as well, so try them all and take your heroes to the next level. So again, I'm over 20 hours in and I'm still learning new stuff. The game is still providing me new activities, and all this stuff just keeps coming and coming, and it is endless, and there's tons of it, and I love it.
excuse me. My name is Kasuga.
Now you can see that I just had pretty much a written text conversation with a character I already met. Generally characters the first time you meet them, and in between. Sometimes you'll talk to them with voiceover acting, then you'll go into text, and then you'll go back to voiceover acting. So don't think that it's all reading. There's a lot of really good cutscenes that are voiceover acted.
I know. You're the director's favorite formerly homeless go-getter, aren't you? Am I right in assuming that you're here to find work again now that Otahime land is shut down?
Yeah, so what should we do now?
Since this is the first time you'll be using our services without going through the director, let me explain.
Yeah, and thanks a bunch.
Okay, take a look then.
Alright, so here's jobs. You can change jobs at Hello Work. Each character is suited for different jobs, so be sure to choose ones that work for each party member. Jobs will become available as you progress through the main story. However, you will not be able to change a job until you meet its prerequisites. Changing a character's job will cause them to wear a uniform associated with that job. You can freely select from the uniforms available.
That covers it. I'll be able to...
So I was talking before about outfits. This is it. Now this is something again that I haven't had available to me until now, and as I've progressed through the story this has become unlocked. And now we're kind of explaining more on jobs, so I can switch from being the barmaid for Saiko, or Sachan that they call her, the female character of the group, and I can change her job to something else, and again that's where you get some of your outfits, and then you have some abilities in those outfits. It's over the top, it's so good, it's just dripping with content, it's just layer upon layer upon layer, and that is Yakuza.
place you in more jobs once everyone starts gaining experience. Your options are a bit limited right now, but you'll find many more jobs are available once you've made some progress.
I gotcha.
Anyway, here's what I have at the moment. Of course, you're responsible for any adjustments you must make when you change jobs.
Alright, so right now I am a hero. I can switch to a freelancer, a bodyguard, a breaker, all sorts of jobs. This is where I sort of get the costumes that I can roll around in. Very interesting stuff. Bodyguard seems to suit me. Slight changes in outfit there. Oh, let's Oh, even there's... Oh, wow. So we'll go bodyguard normal. We'll go to non-body, and it's good because now I can switch my character's overall outfits that they've sort of been using through my 20 hours of gameplay. Now I've got a little bit of extra stuff to do, to explore, and to have fun with. I like this one. This is great. Alright, Alright, so bodyguard, foreman, enforcer. I like this breaker. I would like to have them all in breaker outfits at one point. Let's go with bodyguard. I kind of like that one. Let's do... Ooh, I kind of like this one. That's Yakuza 0 for Kazumi Kiryu, the main character in the original Yakuza game. Alright, and then finally Seiko, hostess, idol. She doesn't have as many. There are some expansions that you can purchase to give them different jobs as well. I think hostess kind of fits her. She is a hostess. So I think we'll go with that just to change her outfit up a little bit. It's got a different pattern. Well, that one's cool. Is that Haruka Sawamura? That might be from another game. Not quite sure which one. Kind of like this one with the red. Alright, all the characters have new outfits.
Roger that. So this is how we change jobs.
I'm not sure if
Yes,
it changes
just talk to me when you want to try out something new.
cutscenes back
There's
and forth,
no limit to the
or
number of times
it
you
doesn't
can
look
switch,
like it
and
does.
you can always resume your previous job too. You may even want to try a bunch out to see which one feels right for you.
Nice. I definitely didn't think it'd be this easy to switch jobs.
Well, that's in part due to how I'm only able to offer you easy jobs right now. And because I'm the one handling all the paperwork. Just keep that in mind.
Sure. I'll remember that.
And that'll do it, I think. Now, as for that part-time job at the Yokohama Trading Company, which you and the director spoke about, they called us to say you're hired.
No, really?
Yes. They'd like to start you straight away. Right now, even. The warehouse you'll be working in is north of Hamakita Park. It's not exactly walkable, so I'd recommend taking the train.
Got it. Thanks, Ririka-chan. We'll be back when we need to change jobs. Looking forward to it.
Ririka-chan? I'm glad you're so excited. Please come by any time.
So that is... Oh, my phone is ringing. Is this Kasugasan? Yeah. What's up, Hiro-san? It's the cats. You have to help me find them. The cats? From your office? Yes, I'm afraid so. They escaped through the broken office door while I was on the phone with a vendor. I'm worried sick about them. I'd go look for them myself, but I have to stay here in case they find their way back to the office. That's where you come in, Kasuga-san. This is my official request to you, to find my cats. You'll be generously compensated, so please, please find them. If it's an official request, what choice do I have? I'll gather them up and get them back to your office. Thank you, Kasuga-san. There are 9 cats total. This should be easy enough. All right. That character was the, I guess, the front man or the leader or the CEO of the one-time hero company that you kind of have access to. I'm surprised that it didn't change my outfits. They all still have the same outfits. Maybe it's something that'll change when I go outside. I was hoping I would have new outfits to run around in. Or maybe that's something that will only happen when I Start fighting? Question mark. All right. I need to show a couple of things out, some activities. So let's go into. Let's go to the PIA. I think these are my slot machines. Probably do a quick battle here. Yeah, so it looks like they change outfits whenever they're fighting.
I got this. You're weak. Get alive.
Try this on your side.
Let's go. Get serious.
You're gonna get
cocky. You're in it now. Have fun with this. Little first aid.
I'm not backing down.
Cool. You're weak. Take your best shot. Come on now. Get serious. Watch this. Alive. Let's go. Let's go. You're weak. Go in it.
I'm not backing down.
Take your shot.
Hope you're ready.
Get serious.
This out. A pleasure to meet you.
You're in it now. Okay. Get alive. Watch this.
You're gonna be in a whirl.
Yeah. Don't get cocky. You wanna fight? I'm up.
You're gonna get stomped.
Should I not?
Try and stop.
Yeah.
You gotta help.
Yeah. The enemy is defeated. I feel the stats going up. Hell yeah. Nice. So itchy.
Now you can see there when I was having combat, if a character, an enemy, ever gets knocked to the ground, another party member can go in while they're down and attack them, and you'll do extra damage while they're down. So kind of pay attention to engaging in an attack while enemies are down on the ground. I'm going to... Yeah, so these are slot machines. Anytime you see this 777. Now these things can get expensive, so if you don't have a lot of money, probably wait until you get into some jobs that earn you a ton of money, because you will have to pay to play. This is a free kind of add-on, but I haven't installed that just yet. It is free though, so let's try this Cabaret, see what this is about.
You stand a chance. Yeah. You're in it now. Have fun with this. Take this.
Here we go.
Take your best shot.
This
You want to fight? Don't get cocky. Come on now.
You're gonna get
Get alive. Let's go. Let's go. Gotcha.
I'm not backing down.
Okay. I got this.
Right.
Next time.
All right, craziness may be coming up here soon. All right, so as you're walking around the city, you'll see these prompts that come up that kind of help you have conversations with your team members. Kind of see how it popped up over there, and I didn't hit it fast enough.
Yeah? What is it?
But having these conversations with your characters will actually increase the
This is where it was. Huh.
stats
Yeah, it's
of
been damn near
Kasuga.
forever since I've been inside of one. I think I'm having withdrawals here.
You are aware I work at a cabaret club, right?
Yeah, but I know you personally. I'd see right through the facade.
If you really think I'd put up a facade just for you, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
I wouldn't mind seeing your business facade. I don't know, it'd be cool. But enough about that. We'll come back and check this place out, okay?
Yeah? You mean it? I hate to kill the mood, but I'm broke.
You think I'd make you pay after inviting you out? I'm not that rude.
Sweet! Kasuga, you're a gentleman and a friend.
Yeah, well, count me out. There's no way I'm setting foot in a cabaret club on my day off. It'd be way too awkward if I ran into one of my former girls. If anything, I'll go kill time somewhere while you boys enjoy spending your money.
Yeah?
Real quick, I had to make this note that the voiceover actress that plays Seiko is also the voice actress that plays Motoko Kusanagi in Ghost in the Shell Arise animated series and movie. So I thought that was really cool, and I immediately noticed and recognized her voice, and I was like, I know that voice from somewhere. I did that research, and then yeah, she's the same voiceover actress that does those two. And I'm a big cyberpunk fan, cyberpunk genre, and Ghost in the Shell is right in that area, and I've been listening to Ghost in the Shell and watching Ghost in the Shell for decades now.
Thanks, I guess?
Woo! Can't wait. Oh, I wonder what kind of girls they have.
We haven't even gotten in the door yet, Adachi-san.
Alright, so I would get bonding points, but right now they're locked. I need to go to the bar and have those conversations with them. Alright, Kasugasan can strengthen his bonds with his boys by enjoying the local nightlife. And don't forget the ladies. They may not be much for the hostess clubs, but there's plenty of things they enjoy too. Mix in a little food and drink, and you've got a recipe for a good time with good friends. This is what Cyberpunk 2077 needs. It's things that you do to spend time with the people that you meet in the story, and it's not there. While the boys play, the ladies will spend their time relaxing, and this way everyone's HP and MP is restored. Well, that's great. Will you spending some time with us? Make a request. Wow, 9,000. So let's just go ahead and do it. You can pick a character. We'll pick this one. Wow, you can pick them all. You cannot request anyone else. Let's just start with some relatively cheap ladies for now. There we go. Let's confirm. Again, just like Yakuza, all these little extra things on there. Oh, that looks really good. Roasted duck for $98. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. I think that's good enough. We'll take a $150 bottle. How about let's just get water. Firming order. That cost me a lot. Anyway, now if you'll follow me.
What are you drinking?
That's what I'm talking about. See you around.
Later. See ya.
Now I wish there was a little bit more activity with that. That pretty much was
Drinks got me.
not what I expected. That's kind of a bummer. But you get resources for it, and you get to increase your bond rate with your characters. You can see that they're kind of drunk as well. So again, increasing the stats of your party, especially for Ichiban, you increase these, they will cost you some money. If you increase bond levels with characters, those are going to cost you a lot more money because you're increasing levels, not through normal means, but kind of paying in-game money to expedite some of those levels. That's the same thing with, let's go take a test, and I'll show you one of the other mini games here. Let's see what's over here. See, oh, this one's actually real fun. Let's go do this one. So again, I don't want to spoil too much of the story for you. There's plenty of that. Like, if you want to come into Yakuza for story, it's there. I don't want to spoil any of it for you, so I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do in here. Look at some of the combat. I guess we'll look at a little bit more. I'm relatively a high enough level to where most of these combats are fairly simple, but if you get deeper into Yokohama, there are areas that can really kick your butt.
Get alive.
You're gonna be in a world of
You're in it now. Going in. Come here.
You're gonna get stomped.
Take your
Right. Check this out.
Don't get
Pull it together, gentlemen.
Okay. Watch this. Hope this hurts. Let's get it done. Get alive. Let's go.
I'm not backing down.
Let's go.
Here we go.
You're weak. Yeah. Take your best shot. You're in it. Good fight. Nice. Moving up in the world. Look at me go.
Yes.
All right, movie theater. All right, watch. Let's watch with somebody. Let's bring Seiko in. All right, so you can get some other movies, but right now we'll watch this one. Now again, you're not necessarily watching the movie, but there's a mini game here. You can hear some of the words and maybe the opening scenes or trailers kind of thing, but you're trying to keep your characters awake.
なんだこの音。こんな時間に会社に人なんて。まさか産業スパイ。
So this guy gets left behind and he's forced to battle a corporate spy. Wonder if that'll be enough to keep me awake. So the basic premise of this is the movie's good. It gets to like a lull point. Kasuga is tired, and you're trying to keep him away from these RAMs, these rapid eye movement RAMs, and you're just pressing buttons. You don't want to hit the roosters that are trying to keep you awake when they pop up. And it is an up, down, left, right kind of button press. You just got to keep your eye on it and don't hit roosters. Showtime's up at the top. Score is over at the bottom right. The movie that you're watching is over the bottom left. Kasuga's overall health and ability to stay awake is there just below showtime. Again, don't hit roosters. And I don't think you get roosters unless you've lost health. Again, some require you, the one that was on the left, required multiple inputs, so a rapid input is required. All right, I'm about to come to an intermission. This is so great.
Yeah, I gotta sleep more.
All right, first stage is clear. Now there'll be a little bit of the movie sometimes. I don't know if it's that way for every movie.
And fall asleep for once. Shit, movies make me so sleepy.
All right, final stage. It's gonna get a little bit harder. Okay, keep an eye out for the roosters. Rush mode. Guess no roosters in this.
That was awesome.
Maybe they only come when you lose a certain amount of energy.
Made it to the end.
Heck yeah. Again, there's so much stuff like this. Like the choices and actions that you take as a player, because it's a role-playing game, does really well. Like your passion, your confidence, your charisma, kindness, intellect, style, again, are great things that really lend themselves well to the RPG elements. Drink links are what you go to the bar. We'll try to stop by the bar here shortly. You can sit down at restaurants and have meals with your mates and heal everybody and get their MP up. You can find all different types of mini games. We talked about a bunch of them. While you're walking around the city, though, make sure you're paying attention to the overall threat level of where you're at. Because you don't want to walk into an area that you're not prepared for. So I wonder whether or not, because I chose to watch the movie with Seiko, whether or not I'll increase my overall standing with her, which it looks like I do. So I need to go back over. So you can see how the bond level was going up, but it was stopped by a lock icon. So there's a requirement for me to go to the survive bar where all your friends kind of hang out. So we will make our way over there. We'll try to take a taxi to save some time and not run into enemies along the way. There's a nice convenient taxi right out here. Try to go over by the survive bar. Now there is a, where can I go here? Commercial district. Oh wow, they're only going to let me go in. Actually, let's not do this. Looks like we're going to have to run up there. So the bar is over here, which is a far distance away. I was hoping that taxi would take me pretty much anywhere. You know what? Let's just take it. Let's get myself... I guess I need to find other taxi stands. I thought there were a bunch of other taxi stands around here. I guess not. Let's at least take a taxi to here. And then we can run the rest of this distance. Come back around. This is actually the first time I've used a taxi. Let's see how fast it is. It's probably just like a regular load screen. Alright, and you can place markers pretty much anywhere, but the survive bar is right here. And you can kind of see how it gives me the green dot. And then again over there at the bottom left of the screen is my overall threat level that I was talking about. You can see the district that I'm currently in is commercial. Bottom left underneath that is the current threat level of the area that I am currently running around in. I'll try to stay away from enemies this time. We've kind of seen combat. Again, the combat is good. It has a great sense of style in it, you know, even compared to previous entries into the series. See if I can get past these guys without actually... Oh, we're too close. We're going to have to go into battle.
Right.
Again, while we're in here, we've kind of watched a little bit of the battle. Some things I want to talk to. I love the music. I like that you can attack or guard against attacks that are coming at you in real time. The attacks are really flashy, which I think are sort of lending to the style of Yakuza, which they do really well. I like that you can set your skill shortcuts in the bottom left corner. Again, I've selected new jobs, so I haven't actually set those quick paths for these jobs that that you saw me kind of get there at the job company. Enemy attack styles can somewhat catch you off guard. Like this newbie Yakuza has a knife, so he'll attack differently than the pocketing watchman or any other enemies that have, and they can get really wacky. So you can see how these enemies have like red eyes. It's because it's how Kasuga sees them. Sometimes you'll have characters that are in swimsuits or diapers, or will look like I don't know. There's actually later on enemies will look like a Roomba, like a vacuum cleaner unit, or to look like an excavator. Those kinds of things are kind of crazy, right? I like the tag team moves, the ability to heal. You have all that stuff available to you. Building up the Suji decks, which is pretty cool. The pound mates that you can bring into the game. Let's see if we can actually order in a pound mate. I don't think I can. I don't have that ability right now. But we'll get through this.
I'm not backing down.
I think what you have to do is order in the pound mate to come at your aid at the next available battle. Alright, I'd almost made it to the survive bar without doing a battle, but it doesn't look like that happens. Now, why couldn't I have gone to this taxi? Did I just not unlock it? Maybe it's only in this area? I was kind of curious why I couldn't grab that taxi. Alright, here's the survive bar. Over here, throughout the city, you'll see these little green icons here. You can grow plants, vegetables. Those can be used for ingredients in meals. They can also be used to grow very beautiful flowers that you can then hand to somebody that maybe you're romancing. But you can see how I have 3 different types of seeds. Let's do pine seedlings. I'll give it plant growth formula. There's fertilizer. Some of this stuff will really grow. without the fertilizer, but it'll grow faster with fertilizer. Let's do... Alright, so those will eventually grow into something that I can use as resources, used to make bouquets of flowers. Alright, so this is the survive bar. There's a lot, right? There's still going. I think I've been talking pretty constantly. I've had a couple battles get in between, but you can see how each of the characters, if I go into start menu and I go to party, and I go check stats, and I go to Nanba, you can see I'm at level 1 with a bond, and I've got this lock icon. That means I've gained enough bond points to then go back here to the survive bar and do a drink link, and the drink link goes into a specific story for this character. And once you've gone through that story, you've made some choices, which also lends itself to character traits for Kasuga. Then it'll unlock it and you can go to level 2. So, let's talk to Sachan. I think it's just easier to call her that.
Sachan.
And again, this is the voice
drinking
of
by yourself?
Motoko Kusanagi in
Pathetic.
Ghost in the Shell Arise.
Sit down and help me save what's left of my pride.
Huh? Everything all right?
Well, you could say some stuff's happened.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Alright, so I can choose a choice based off of something that the character has said to me, and then respond
Well,
to
I'm
that.
here if you want to
And it
talk
could
about it.
be a
Can't say I
result
have much
in
experience
different
in this area,
traits
but
giving,
the least I can do is
being
help you
given
understand
bonus
how a
points
man's
to
heart
level up
works.
further.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I figured you were upset because of some fight with your boyfriend.
I don't have a boyfriend.
Huh?
That
Really?
gave a lot of information.
I can't believe you gave me that look and said that. Oh, that cheers me up all by itself.
Oh, come on. Why are you making it into such a big deal? Can't we just get into what's really eating you?
Yeah, it's my sister, Nanoha.
What's going on with her? Something happened?
Remind me, how much did I tell you about my family while we were drinking the other night?
You said you were too controlling when it came to Nanoha and your dad. Eventually there was a big fight and you left home. That was 7 or 8 years ago.
And did I tell you the reason for that fight?
Yeah, it was because you told Nanoha to break up with some chump. The boyfriend with the consulting firm?
Okay, so I spilled all the beans. Anyway, his name's Katsuragawa, and apparently they're still together.
Damn. Longer relationship than I've ever been in.
If he wasn't so damn annoying, I might let this go. But Katsuragawa's a criminal. He's even been seen going in and out of Seiryu Clan HQ. Not to mention, he's dangerous and walks around with his own personal posse. He used to run with a biker gang. I mean, I've heard nothing but bad rumors about him since I left home.
Nanoha really knows how to pick him, huh?
Shut up. I've got some girls from the club looking into him right now. I hope they can find out more. Trying really hard not to worry here since I can't do anything but wait.
So that's why you're drinking away your troubles in here.
Yeah, well. Now that I've talked to you about it, I feel a bit better. Maybe I'll skip the next round.
Oh, let's not start talking crazy now.
And that character is voiced by Elizabeth Maxwell. Alright, so while you're in this bar as well, you can come over here and talk to some of the other characters that work at the bar. Any of the stories that you encounter out in the city, you can come back here and listen to again, sort of like we stopped by that cabaret bar and they had that conversation outside. You can come back here and listen to that again if you so choose. You can have conversations. So here's where I was talking about with charisma. If I want to chat with Iroha, I need to have charisma level 4, which will give me the subtitle of appealing. Inside the survive bar, there's also a spot that you can go here to store items. You're in a storage box. and also heal the entire crew, and also re-up your MP. If you want to say magic points, I think it's magic points. I could be wrong. All right. Let's go and play a mini game. All right, let's go play some golf. We're relatively close. Oh, here's something. You can take photos. And some of them will be really upset that you're taking photos of them. Some of them will actually notice that you're taking photos and join in. Not all of them, though.
I'm ready.
Oh, that was an actual enemy. Oh, a level 16? What the heck are you?
Let's go. Don't get caught.
Here we go.
Alright, let's lower their attack.
This out. Help.
Of course I'd miss.
You're gonna be in a world of hurt.
Come on. Let's go.
So while this battle is going on, I'll talk about some really great stuff in this game. I think I've already said it before. The mini games that are all around the game are definitely something that lends itself to the Yakuza series and what makes it special and unique. I might actually die from this one.
Have fun with this. Hope this hurts. I got this. Let's go. Get serious.
Right.
Let's go.
Try this on the side.
Wanna fight? Yeah. Check this
I'm
out.
not backing down.
Take your first shot.
Whoa, I totally missed that shot.
You're in it now. Watch this. I'm up. Come on. Let's go. Get serious.
Here we go. This out.
Don't get
A
caught.
pleasure to meet you.
Let's cool. Come on now. Like this.
There we go.
Okay. Take your best shot. Have fun with this. I know. Give peace a chance, everybody. You're in it now. Let's go. Going in. No mercy. Let's go. Don't get cocky.
Huh? Right. Try this on the side.
Almost got you. There we go.
How you doing?
Got a good amount of yen on
Stats
that
going
one.
up.
All right, sorry. Last kind of thoughts before I kind of close this out. I really enjoy the ability to still go shopping around the entire city and pick up things that you can collect and use. The city details, Kamurocho is the original city in the Yakuza games, but you know, it never looks so good. It looks really, really good. And then when you move on to Yokohama, the area just opens up. So there's actually two cities that you can explore. I wish there were some things that Night City or CDPR would have done for Cyberpunk 2077 here. I like the way that the game takes the kind of slapstick comedy It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's got great story twists, great story overall. There's definitely really cool tutorials throughout. They're nicely built into the game. It's similar through all the entire series of Yakuza games. There is the ability to move around in first person in the game. You can take photos, you can take selfies, so kind of talking about how I do this. You can move around here, get one of the characters in the frame, and they'll actually throw a peace sign, or see how they can get into the photo. And you can take a picture, add that to your overall roster of things. You can change the expression on your character's face. You can change different types of filters. You can put decorations on their faces. And again, you can do this moving around the city as well, changing filters. Let's see if I can get this guy to do a pose for me. I don't know where these enemies? These enemies just spawn out of nowhere.
Check this out. The ashtray you requested.
You can see now that I have a new ability because I've leveled up this character.
You're gonna get shot.
This one here. Something to also look at when you're doing your battles, if there's ever multiple enemies and you're trying to attack an enemy that's further beyond an enemy that's closer to you, that enemy that's closer to you could block your attack advance. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and exit out of this fight. Oh, I thought the entire team would exit. Guess not. You see, this is the grinding that I'm talking about, is actually wanting to go out and fight the enemies that are throughout the city so that when you get to the end game, you're not doing a bunch of this back to back to catch up to some of the more difficult enemies down the line. Again, there are a ton of activities, right? There's a ton of enemies to fight. Like, there's a ton of mini games. There's a ton of side missions. I think the overall game presentation is exactly where it needs to be. It's over the top. It's Yakuza flair. It's Yakuza style. It's what made this game series so famous. And you can see how the game is just constantly throwing stuff at you. I could obviously move away from these enemies and watch them on my screen to make sure that they're not coming into my area. Kind of avoid some of these battles. He's on the ground. It'll be easier to take him out. Alright, let's kind of move out of this spawning area. Let's go into the pause menu. Alright, so we're trying to get over here to the golf. Alright, let's get over there. We'll play some golf. Yeah, it's just the fact that the team has gone to the extra effort to give us these side missions to kind of help break any feeling of monotony in the game that you might have. You can go and do other things. Like in this open world, city is very well done. You don't have to just go story to story to story to story. Go off the beaten path, explore the city. You'll find little... Oh, there's a cat. I just heard a cat. I'm looking for these cats. Where are you? Heard a cat. There's a cat right there. I'm looking for these cats. Excuse me. Sorry, I should not be coughing on stream. That can be pretty annoying. There's some water here. Hey, buddy. Alright, so the one-time hero CEO has asked me to pick up some of these part-time hero, not one-time hero.
Finally found you.
I was able to hear that based off the audio in the in my headphones. And tons of side quests. Tons and tons of side activities. It's very charming the way that they kind of execute the game with all this stuff. Some of the things that I have found And it really just depends on if you like long cutscenes. There are some cutscenes that do last a while, and depending on the setting that you've put in your controller for when you want it to turn off, I've actually had my controller go to sleep on me based on the length of the cutscenes. All right. Oops, that kind of hurt. All right, so here we are at Heaven's Golf. Let's play closest to pin. Alright, so usually there's a batting cage too. There's so much stuff. It's kind of hard to show a lot of this in an hour stream, but alright, so I'm trying to go up to that blue mark and then come back down as close to the red mark. Back. And then, see how close I am. Yeah, I'm trying to get as close to the red as I can.
Bullseye!
And get points based on where I'm at. Alright, I can change the view. Put it right about there. Oh, I went way too much. That went over. Dagger.
Damn it!
Let's go right here. Oh, right in the middle, but not in the hole. In the yellow?
Bullseye!
Nope, in the blue. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Bullseye.
I haven't made a hole in one yet. Stay in the green at least. I could almost do an entire stream on some of these mini games. Ooh, no, stay in the red.
Bullseye!
Bullseye! Stay in, stay
Bullseye!
in. Yeah, I think
Bullseye.
I need to pull it back. Right here and let it roll in. Ew, that was
Damn it.
not good at all.
I did it!
Alright. Get some egg sandwich, some soft serve ice cream, and a drink. Some golf, a little mini golf. Driving range. And I got a meal out of it. Keep your eye on for items that are in the world. We kind of talked about save points. Oh, I'm sorry. The game does give you autosaves, but just make sure you're saving every once in a while too, because anytime that you die in a battle, it takes half of the yen that you have on hand. So be careful. Make a save every once in a while when you've got a big chunk of change. So if you come up on a difficult enemy, you can get some of that money back by just kind of reloading your save without spending all the time getting that money back again. Let's talk about some of the others. As long as you like long cutscenes, this game is for you. If you like story, I say long cutscenes, like it's not something that you want to listen to or watch, but that's the whole point, is the story is great. There are some rough scene transitions, like sometimes it'll transition from one scene to the next and it'll be a little bit abrupt. And then some of the character animations are a little rough, like they're mannequins themselves and they're just sort of staring off into a direction. Again, these are small nitpicking things, like I have to go out and find things that the game could work on a little bit. Not sure why they didn't do voiceover acting for every line of dialogue. I'm sure it was a money thing. And then sometimes during battles, your AI characters can kind of get hung up on objects in the world. But for the most part, it does a pretty good job of the camera getting out of the way and the characters running up to enemies. It's very rare. I think it might have really just been 2 times where I've seen a character kind of get stuck on an area and not be able to maneuver. But that was only 1 to 2 times in the entire game. Yeah, I think there's so much good in Yakuza. I didn't have a lot of time to show you everything. I guess I could end it with Dragon Kart because I really feel like, I want to show you guys so much, but I don't want to make this stream super long. I'm going to go back outside here. I could show you guys the story because it's so great, but I want you guys to experience that for yourselves. I've shown combat, I've shown mini games. There's so many other things and activities, the kart racing, playing mahjong, playing shogi. There's over 10 activities to play. There's a city to explore. There's things to collect all over the place. I really hope that this hour and 28 minutes that I spent in Yakuza Like a Dragon. This building right here is actually where Part-Time Hero is located. But yeah, there's so much good stuff in here. I haven't unlocked the what was it inside here? The management job, which will probably earn you a good chunk of change. It's just like these things slowly over time unlock to give you, an overall sense of greatness that the game has to offer. Man, I just wish there was so much more I could show you, but I will be doing other streams in the game as I grind in the game. What else is there? Yeah, Z, please lurk all you want. Young Einstein, ? Yeah, so again, this stream is primarily for Game Pass library games. This was episode 12. I hope you guys got a good look at it. Z, I know you may have just dropped in. I was away from the chat for a little while, but thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to continue streaming a second right after this one, so please come and join me for that one. As always, anytime you guys are in the chat, please drop a title of a game, and that will be the game that I will add to my streaming queue, whether or not it's in the Game Pass library or it's a game that I have in my PlayStation 5 or my Game Pass, or outside of the Game Pass on Xbox. Just throw me the name of a title, and I will add it to my game streaming queue. Again, all these episodes are uploaded to YouTube, so this is episode 12. Episode 13 is going to be Hellblade: Senua's Saga, which was suggested by one of the other viewers, and I think his name was DJ. And I also have Hollow Knight, which will be episode 14, which was suggested by ZRoll69, who's in the chat right now. So I hope to get to those very, very soon. As always, thank you for dropping in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave comments in the comment section. Tell me what you'd like to see. Tell me what I could be doing better. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Sorry, I did get them mixed up. So Z was Senua's Sacrifice, and then DJ had requested Hollow Knight. I hope I got that right. You know, I've had some people drop some things. I took some notes. You know, let me just look at my notes, and we'll know exactly what order that I'm doing some of these. Let's go back over here. Da-da-da-dum. Streamer requests. All right, so the order of the way that I stream these is Charcoal Sneck had requested Dark Souls. Fantasy P had requested Yakuza Like a Dragon. So there you go, Fantasy P. I hope you enjoyed this video. Zero69 had requested Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, and then DJ Updog had requested Hollow Knight. So the next episode will be Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Thank you for the correction there, Z, who's in the chat right now. That one will be coming very soon. So, ending it again. Thank you very much for joining me, guys, and I'll check you guys in episode 13. All right. Bye.